Super Scoop Snoop. The three figures sat in the darkened room watching TV and munching their way through a takeaway meal.
Everyone agrees that she's great,
said the TV commentator.
But who is she?
The screen showed Jem, the outrageous pop star, as she waved to the cameras and clambered into the back of a swish limousine. There was a snort of disgust from the three viewers, and one of them threw a handful of chips at the screen. Unaware of the flying French fries, the commentator continued.
Everyone knows that Jem is the greatest star to hit the pop world for a long, long time, and everyone knows that she's tops for glamour and fashion. But no one knows who she is. What is Jem's real name? Where is she from? What is she like? And it's over to Jerrica Benton, co-executive of Starlight Music and the behind-the-scenes girl who helped launch Jem's sensational career.
A pretty blonde in a stylish executive outfit appeared on the screen. There was a howl of rage from one of the watchers, and a hail of chips and the remains of a burger were thrown through the air in a frenzy.
I'm afraid I can't tell you anything.
Jerrica smiled apologetically at the reporter.
I'm sure your viewers will understand that Jem likes to keep her private life to herself.
In the darkened room, one of the viewers leapt to her feet.
Stormer!
She shouted.
Switch off that set! Roxy, turn up the lights!
The speaker was Pizzazz, leader of the all-girl group, the Misfits. Just like Jem and the Holograms, the Misfits were signed up with Starlight Music. But their boss was Eric Raymond, the scheming executive who was Jerrica's bitter rival. Pizzazz was determined that the Misfits would be Starlight's top band. The fact that Jem and the Holograms made better music than the wild, loud, simply dreadful Misfits was of no concern to Pizzazz. She hated Jerrica Benton, and she hated Jem, and couldn't bear the sight of either of them.
I was kind of getting interested in that program,
admitted Stormer.
There must be a real super scoop for someone who found out all about Jem. Ah!
She broke off as Pizzazz's strawberry milkshake was tipped over her head.
Whose side are you on, you crumb?
Demanded Pizzazz.
Cool it, Pizzazz,
said Roxy.
Maybe Stormer's right. There must be some reason why Jem's so secretive. I've got a hunch that wimp Benton doesn't want anyone to know who Jem is.
Could be,
said Pizzazz thoughtfully.
And if Jerrica doesn't want something found out, I guess that it's up to us to find it out.
Pizzazz grabbed a guitar, leapt on the table, and thumped out a chord.
My cousin Patty Payne is a real pushy-nosy reporter,
sang Pizzazz.
You mean one of your family can actually write?
Asked Roxy in disbelief.
Yeah.
Grinned Pizzazz.
She's the one to snoop out this super scoop.
But there are loads of reporters working on Jem's story,
protested Stormer.
What's so big deal about your cousin?
Pizzazz did a cartwheel and grabbed hold of the telephone receiver.
I'll see to it that Eric Raymond gets Patty a job in the Starlight offices. She can pretend to be a secretary, but really she'll be snooping round.
Pizzazz smiled nastily.
The mystery about Jem is as good as solved.
If the Misfits could have seen Jerrica Benton at that moment, they would have known all about the secrets surrounding Jem.
Come on, Jerrica,
her sister Kimber called as the smiling blonde raced into the dressing room.
We've got an important press photo call in a few minutes.
Then it's time for Jem to take over,
grinned Jerrica. She touched her pointed red earrings and murmured,
Time to get the show moving, Synergy.
Next second, Jerrica had vanished, and in her place stood Jem, laughing and twirling round to show off her fabulous pink outfit. Synergy was an amazing holographic computer designed and built by Jerrica's late father. The special earrings were microprojectors that linked Jerrica to Synergy, so that she could call up the hologram to change her appearance from Jerrica into Jem. The girl had taken on the guise of the fun-loving pop star in her bid to prevent Starlight Music from falling into the hands of the selfish and greedy Eric Raymond. Jerrica's closely guarded secret was shared with Kimber, Aja, and Shauna, the three girls who made up the Holograms. But for how much longer would her secret be safe? When she went to the Starlight offices the next day, Jerrica Benton was surprised to hear that Eric Raymond had hired Patty Payne, a temporary secretary, to help out with the paperwork. Jerrica studied the attractive and efficient-looking girl. Since when had Eric Raymond started worrying about helping others, she wondered. For the next few days, Patty Payne worked long and hard during the daytime. She seemed to be busy with the paperwork in the office, but in fact she was searching through the files, hoping to find a clue that might put her onto the trail of tracking down Jem. During the evenings, Patty spent endless hours standing outside concert halls, swish restaurants, and glamorous night spots, all in the hope of learning more about Jem. But Jem was either taken away at speed in a smart car, or else she was simply nowhere to be found. Patty was no nearer to discovering anything about the pop star.
I thought you had a nose for news,
Demanded Pizzazz when she met up with Patty.
I do.
Protested Patty.
Well, get it blown and get on the scent of this scoop.
But there are no leads, no clues.
Said Patty.
You searched through Benton's desk?
Asked Pizzazz.
Nope,
Returned Patty.
it's always kept locked.
Pizzazz sighed, dug her hand into a pocket, and produced a bunch of keys.
I had these made.
Said the Misfits leader.
I can get into any room or desk in that building. Now get moving, Crumb Brain.
Patty made her way to the Starlight offices. She unlocked the door to Jerrica's office, made her way to the large desk, opened a drawer, and started to sift through the papers. Seconds afterwards, Jerrica Benton came hurrying into the Starlight building. She had been delayed at an important business meeting, and now she was very tight on time.
Must hurry or else I won't make the engagement tonight.
Jerrica said to herself, consulting her watch as she waited for the lift.
Jerrica's got to change into Jem. My office will be a good safe place. No one will be able to see me there.
In Jerrica's office, Patty heard footsteps approaching. In an instant, she had locked the desk, turned off the light, and hidden herself inside one of the tall cabinets at the back of the room. She left the door slightly ajar so that she could see who was coming. Patty saw Jerrica come rushing into the room. She closed the door but did not put the light on. Then she moved out of Patty's range of vision. Seconds later, Jem rushed past Patty's hiding place and made her way out of the office.
Jerrica Benton comes in, and then Jem goes out.
Said Patty to herself.
What gives?
Cautiously, the nosy newshound left her hiding place and looked round the room. Patty was quite alone. There was no sign of Jerrica Benton or Jem. The reporter sat down. She turned the events over in her mind. There was only one possible explanation for the thing she had seen. Jerrica Benton was secretly Jem. Wait until Pizzazz heard about it. The Misfits didn't know what to think when Patty spoke to them. Roxy roared, Stormer snorted, and Pizzazz pouted, perplexed.
You sure you saw this, Patty?
Pizzazz asked, sounding doubtful.
Sure, I'm sure.
Snapped Patty.
Okay.
Said Pizzazz.
I just want convincing.
Right.
Said Patty.
Now listen, I've got a plan.
Next day, Patty called into Jerrica's office.
I'm sorry, but I'm extremely busy.
Began Jerrica.
You'll see me if I say so.
Cut in Patty.
I'm a reporter, and I know who Jem really is.
Jerrica's mouth had gone dry, but she was determined to try to remain calm and not give anything away.
I'll talk to you at 7:30 this evening.
Commented Patty.
You best be here or else I'll go straight to the newspapers with my story.
Jerrica knew that she had to appear on stage in concert as Jem at 8 o'clock. She had to be on stage. But it seemed that she had to see Patty, too.
See you later,
said Jerrica, trying to force a smile. Jerrica put a call through to Kimber at the concert hall where Jem was to appear.
Listen, I may be a little late this evening,
said Jerrica. Kimber made a noise like an exploding volcano.
And what do we do till you show up? Go on stage and tell a few gags? Or maybe try a few conjuring tricks?
I'll explain later,
said Jerica quietly. She could sense trouble. At 7:30, Pizzazz and Patty crept along the corridor that led to Jerica's office. The door was open, and Pizzazz peered in to see that Jerica was sitting at her desk reading some papers. Pizzazz made a thumbs-up sign to Patty, who slammed the door shut, then locked it with a key. Then the no-good girls made their way chuckling down the corridor.
She's stuck in her office,
Laughed Patty.
Jerica never carries a set of keys with her. I've been watching her.
Smart snooping.
Said Pizzazz.
But she'll phone for help, won't she?
She'll try to, but I cut the phone wires earlier on.
You super-duper smarty Snoop!
Cackled Pizzazz. The two were laughing so much that they didn't notice an old cleaning lady until they'd walked into her.
Watch where you're going.
Snarled Pizzazz.
And clear off from this area now.
I've just finished.
Apologized the cleaning lady.
I'm so sorry. Yes,
Said Patty, watching the woman as she scurried away.
we don't want anyone discovering Jerica for an hour or two yet.
Pizzazz led the way to her car.
Never thought I'd be looking forward to seeing a concert by Jem and the Holograms.
She said.
But tonight will be different. Jerica's out of the way, so it'll be a gemless concert. I can't wait to see those horrible holograms all alone on stage.
When they arrived at the concert hall, the lights were going down. Then the holograms came bursting onto the stage against a background of lights and applause. The girls plunged into an instrumental number and everything was set. It was that magic moment when Jem usually took the stage. But there was no sign of her, and the holograms continued to play.
Maybe she had to work late at the office.
Grinned Pizzazz. But even as the rotten rocker spoke, the audience burst into applause as a pink-clad figure swept on stage and danced in the spotlight, her pink hair flowing from side to side. It was Jem. With a snarl of rage, Pizzazz left the concert hall dragging Patty with her.
You dumb cluck!
Growled Pizzazz.
I don't understand,
Said Patty.
Well, I do!
Thundered Pizzazz.
Jerica Benton isn't Jem at all. You were mistaken, you meathead.
So what happened, Jem?
Kimber asked as the girls made their way back to the Starlight offices after the concert.
We thought you weren't going to show.
I thought so too.
Laughed Jem.
But Patty seemed so set on seeing Jerica just before the concert began, and I guess she might be up to something. I decided it was time to do some snooping of my own.
The pop star fingered her red earrings and continued.
I got Synergy to make a hologram of Jerica, and I left that sitting at my desk. Synergy changed my appearance, too, so I was able to walk around the building and overhear what Patty and Pizzazz were plotting.
What did Synergy make you look like?
Asked Kimber.
I became a cleaning lady.
So those nasties only lock a hologram in your office.
Said Shauna.
That's it.
Said Jem.
And I was free to drive to the concert hall and turn up on time.
What will Patty do now?
Asked Kimber, looking worried.
Oh, I think she'll have had enough of the whole thing.
Said Jem. The sound of angry voices was coming from the Starlight Music office block as Jem and the holograms arrived.
Call yourself a reporter?
Pizzazz raged at Patty.
You made up that stupid story about Jerica Benton being Jem just because you hadn't discovered anything.
Rubbish!
Retorted Patty.
This whole setup has been some crazy screwball joke of yours. Your sense of humor is like your music. Bad! Evening, girls.
Smiled Jem.
We're going to call in on Jerica. I believe she's in her office.
That only set the fiery-tempered cousins arguing again. Stormer appeared carrying 2 strawberry milkshakes. She handed one to Pizzazz and one to Patty, but then withdrew to a safe distance. She knew that she'd be looking at a couple of strawberry blondes within the next few seconds.